Alrighty, yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. DDG94, back with another reaction video. Today, we're finna react to whatever happened to these 90s educational shows. Pretty sure they just fell out of popularity, or if they were on PBS, they probably lost the funding because that happens to a lot of shows on PBS. They could be a good show, but they just lose the funding. RP to Barney. But anyways, though, without further ado, let's get right into it.
If you want to teach your kids the most important lessons of your childhood, or you just want to feel like a little kid again yourself, then join us as we find out what happened to all the talking animals and beloved teachers from these 90s educational shows. Reading Rainbow debuted on PBS in 1983 and ran for 21 seasons.
Prime example right here. A show that was really good and should have stayed and should still be on the air to this day, but it got cut due to funding. Didn't nobody want to fund a show about books because getting the rights to the books costs too fucking much. I'm like, why do you need rights to show a book? A kid's book on top of that. You mean to tell me Scholastic can't let them show books for the free? They're promoting your books and reading them to the children. I thought Scholastics was all about helping the kids read, but apparently it's all about the greed. Fuck Scholastics. That's why niggas don't read.
Until 2006. Hosted by LeVar Burton, the series encouraged viewers to engage with the world around them through the power of literature. Despite its popularity, Reading Rainbow consistently struggled with funding. As Burton explained to Media Bistro, things ultimately came to a head in 2002 when the No Child Left Behind Act shifted public broadcasting's focus to more foundational education.
The mandate is to teach kids how to read, the rudiments of reading, and there was no money in the budget to encourage, to foster a love.
Reading Rainbow was taken off the air in 2009 after its broadcast rights expired. Thankfully, though, it lives on in multiple forms. Following a successful Kickstarter campaign in 2014, Burton and business partner Mark Wolf released Skybrary, a digital library with digital field trips akin to the show's documentary segments. Additionally, Burton hosted a short fiction podcast called LeVar Burton Reads from 2017 until 2024. Blue's Clues was Nickelodeon's first explicitly educational series and one of the first shows to
The motherfucking GOAT has entered the chat, ladies and gentlemen. The motherfucking GOAT has entered the chat. Motherfucking GOAT, the most goated Nickelodeon Nick Jr. show of all time. If we talking Nick Jr., this is the most goated Nick Jr. show of all time. It's not even up for debate, bro. It's not even up for debate. I know. So technically, I would tell you it's Little Bill, but due to the optics and certain situations in today's time, we can't say Little Bill no more. Sadly, so it's Blue's Clues. It's not even up for debate. Blue's Clues is top tier, bro. Y'all don't know about them Nickelodeon tapes, bro. The Blue's Clues tapes on top of that, the special ones that were like blue. The Blue's Clues blue Nickelodeon tapes for like specials, because the rest of them were orange. You already know. If you know, you know. If you was around during that time, if you know, you know. But when Blue's Clues had a special, like the movies or the hour-long specials and stuff like that, they were blue tapes. Niggas don't know about them though.
Directly involve the audience in a narrative format. It was a massive hit for Nick and remains one of the most successful children's programs ever made.
Blue's good do, we can do.
The show arrived on Nick Jr. in 1996 and produced 6 seasons until 2006. During this time, Blue the dog became one of Nick's most recognizable characters. The series unceremoniously ceased production in 2004 to make way for Blue's Room, a spin-off that featured a talking puppet Blue and her.
This was terrible. This was a terrible idea. Who the fuck said this was a good idea? I just want to know, who's the dumbass that said, let's have Blue talk? Who's the dumbass that said that? It's like, listen, bro, it was already bad enough with Steve left, bro. Because when Joe took over, that's when I left. I was done with Blue's Clues after Steve left. When Steve left, I was done with Blue's Clues. Then I'm sitting, my sister in the living room watching television, watching cable and shit. I go in there, you know what I'm saying, give me something to snack, go to the kitchen, give me something to snack on. I turn around. I'm like, is that Blue in puppet form talking? What is this atrocity?
Hear me and hear me good, nigga. I'm here to double down. That shit is a 2-pack of ass. The fuck are you talking about? That shit stinks.
Cut that bitch off! Next caller!
So what is this atrocity? What did they do to Blue's Clues? Man, they ruined it, dog. Blue was never supposed to talk or be in Muppet form. What the fuck going on here?
Playroom, which ran for 2 seasons until 2007. Both series aired through reruns on Nick Jr., and Blue's Clues is currently available to stream on Paramount+. The franchise now lives on through Blue's Clues and You, a reboot to the original series with the same formula but updated animation. Most notable is new host Josh De La Cruz, who replaced previous hosts Steve Burns and Donovan Patton.
If it ain't Steve, it ain't for me.
Who both made appearances on the new show. The reboot also spawned a streaming film, Blue's Big City Adventure, which premiered in 2022. In 1960, Sherry Lewis introduced audiences to her wisecracking sock puppet Lamb Chop on The Sherry Lewis Show, which would be canceled after just 3 years. But then Lewis and Lamb Chop returned in a big way 3 decades later on Lamb Chop's Play Along.
Bruh, this show is only infamous for the fucking theme song. This show is only infamous for the theme song, bro. This is the song that doesn't end. Yes, it goes on and on, my friends. Something, 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 something. I don't remember the words, but I just know that the theme song is infamous. Mainly for being annoying, but it's infamous.
Earned Lewis 6 daytime Emmys and turned the song that doesn't end into every parent's worst nightmare.
This is the song that... Charlie Horse! No, stop. Charlie, stop. I want you to go away. Go away.
But unlike the song, the show would in fact end, but not until after airing 4 seasons and 84 episodes. But that was only because Lewis was developing a spin-off series, The Charlie Horse Music Pizza, which would last for only 23 episodes as Lewis was diagnosed with incurable uterine cancer in 1998. 46 days after filming what would be her final segment of the show, she passed away after contracting pneumonia. Her daughter Mallory Lewis continues her mother's legacy by performing Lamb Chop around the world and on Cameo. Lamb Chop's Play Along was never released on home video. While many episodes have been uploaded to YouTube, some are considered lost media. Based on a hit series of computer games, Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego is a fast-paced quiz show that aimed to teach young gumshoes.
This is when Foxbox went off. This is when Fox Kids or WB Kids was going off the air. Yeah, this is when you change the channel. This is when you change the channel, you turn the game on. You turn the PlayStation on. Just get it popping from there, or you go outside. One of the options, bro. Like once this show come on, it's time to get up and get up. It's time to get up and do something, bro.
Geography and world cultures, all while pursuing the titular criminal mastermind.
Carmen Sandiego and her pack of vicious villains have struck again.
After 5 successful seasons on PBS from 1991 to 1995, the show was replaced by a spin-off series called Where in Time is Carmen Sandiego. The change was instigated by the show's producers, who wanted to retain the show's formula but freshen it up to compete with newer PBS programming. The focus shifted to world history, but it wasn't enough to maintain sponsorships, as the new series would last for only 2 years. 2 additional shows in the franchise would be produced, both of them animated. Where on Earth is Carmen Sandiego on Fox, and Carmen Sandiego on Netflix. Currently, the only place...
The animated one was pretty good, though, but still, when this one came on, this version of it came on, it's time to go outside, bro. It's time to go outside, see what's popping, man. Go outside, ice cream man outside. Mr. Ice Cream Man. The ice cream man. No, that ice cream man be outside? Shit. It's a good day. It's a good weekend. It's a good Saturday.
To find episodes of Where in the World is through scattered home recordings uploaded to YouTube. Until 2022, it was always a wonderful kind of day on PBS. That was thanks to Arthur, the longest-running animated series based on Mark Brown's popular coming-of-age book series. The show began gracing American households in 1996 and ultimately ran for 25 seasons, making it the country's longest-running animated children's series ever. Not bad for a four-eyed aardvark.
AARDVARK.
In 2021, PBS surprised Arthur fans around the world when they announced that the show's 25th season would be its last. An official reason for the cancellation was never revealed, although the amount of episodes per season had been in steady decline since 2016. According to writer
I'm pretty sure it's because they stopped writing the books. The main person who created Arthur was probably just like, you know what, it's been a long run, or because it's a PBS show, they ran out of funding. Think about it. It ended during the pandemic. You don't think the pandemic has something to do with this show going to an end? Come on now. You know that money was running low.
Kathy Wall, the show had already ceased production in 2020, much to the dismay of its creative team. As of 2025, Arthur continues to air reruns on PBS Kids, along with new short-form content. Throughout its run, Arthur became one of
PBS Kids don't exist no more. I don't know what you talking about. PBS Kids don't exist no more. PBS Kids, Sprouts, all that gone. It's just PBS. No, you know, I take that back. PBS, they do got a PBS Kids channel. It's on locally now. It's a local channel now. I forgot PBS Kids became a local channel. It's no longer a cable package. Forgot.
the most memed shows on TV. Iconic reaction images include Arthur's clenched fist, as well as DW with creepy bags under her eyes. Mark Brown got a kick out of this, telling Yahoo in 2022, "It's been really fun to see these young adults who grew up with Arthur use these symbols and references in their daily life as adults." Bill Nye the Science Guy combines science and silliness so well that it affects.
Bro, we need to do a top 10 PBS Kids shows, bro. Top 10 PBS Kids shows, bro. Bill Nye the Science Guy is up there, bro. This is one of the ones, bro. Bill Nye the Science Guy is one of the ones, bro. Bill Nye the Science Guy. Bill Nye the Science Guy. Bill. I don't care what y'all say. Zoom is a ripoff of Bill Nye the Science Guy. Even though I think Zoom been around longer than Bill Nye the Science Guy, I don't care. It's a ripoff. I don't care. I like Bill Nye the Science Guy way more than I like Zoom. Zoom was always an overrated PBS Kids show to me.
Effectively became America's science classroom. Nye was technically an engineer, not a scientist, but he nonetheless educated millions of children about all kinds of empirical concepts, from the periodic table to the water cycle. The show aired for 5 seasons on syndication from 1993 to 1998, with Nye believing it had simply run its course after 100 episodes. Plus, there were budget cuts to the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, which was a key sponsor for the series. Thankfully, though, the entire series is now available online for free. After his signature series ended, Nye would go on to host 3 more educational programs: The Eyes of Nye, Bill Nye Saves the World, and The End is Nigh, a docuseries exploring apocalyptic threats through a scientific lens. It Was Never a Normal Field Trip with Miss Frizzle and the Magic School Bus, based on a series of scholastic children.
This would probably be top 5 for a PBS Kids show. We talking top 5? Most definitely. One of the best theme songs too. I forgot how it go though. I forgot how the theme song go, but it's still one of the best. I ain't watched this show in a long time, y'all. I think the last time I saw Magic School Bus was 3rd grade, bro. That you know how long 3rd grade is? That's like 2002 for me. It's like 2002 going into 2003 for me, bro. That's a long ass time since I seen Magic School Bus, bro. Cruising on down the street, it's nice 70 minutes. Come on, man. I ain't seen this show in a minute, bro. It's been a long time. Cause they don't put it on PBS no more, and I ain't in school no more. Or I ain't in elementary school, I should say, anymore. For me to be watching fucking Magic School Bus and shit.
books, the show took an inquisitive elementary school class on a number of incredible adventures in the name of science. Each episode was filled with larger-than-life creativity that inspired generations of kids. The series began on PBS in 1994, and then in 1998, Scholastic ceased production, partly because PBS was no longer able to financially support the series in the wake of newer programming. Scholastic opted to sell broadcast rights to the Fox Kids network, and it continued bouncing around networks until 2012, after which the entire series was released on DVD. In 2017, Netflix started airing a revival called The Magic School Bus Rides Again. It won over critics and audiences and ultimately ran for 2 seasons and 4 specials. On Dragon Tales, Max and Emma's magical adventures in Dragonland taught children how to over
Top two and it's number 2. I'm never gonna put nothing over Barney, but this might be top 2, bro. Yes, I will put Dragon Tales over Arthur. I said what I said, nigga. I said what I said, nigga. I will put Dragon Tales over Arthur, nigga. Yes. Dragon Tales, summer time for Dragon Tales. Come along, take my hand. Let's all go to Dragonland. I forgot how it go when they get the little rock or whatever. Then they summon themselves to the Dragon Tales word. I forgot how it go. All I remember is to fly with dragons in a land of hearts. Something like that. I forgot how it go.
overcome emotional and social challenges through personal growth and working with others. And hey, who wouldn't want to learn life lessons while hanging out with fire-breathing dragons?
That's a silly idea.
Dragon Tales began airing on PBS in 1999 as part of its PBS Kids block, but then in 2004, PBS Kids was replaced by the cable-funded PBS Kids Sprout, which was aimed specifically at preschool audiences. Following this change, no new episodes of Dragon Tales were produced, although by this point there were already 94 episodes. Reruns continued to air until 2010 when PBS declined to renew its broadcast rights, although the show remains available on home video and can be watched online for free. Children's television is ultimately about children, and Zoom understood that better than any show. It made the
one of the most overrated shows on PBS.
Cut that bitch off! Next caller!
Because when this came on, I knew it was time to it was time to get in the shower and get ready for bed. Even though this shit came on like 5:30 still. I'm like, bro, I'm finna cut this shit off. I'm going to my room. Unless my mama was cooking that night, or either that I was gonna have to make me a Hungry Man or some ramen noodles or something like that, or put a pizza in the oven. One of the two. If my mama was cooking, then shit, I go get in the shower, wait for that food to be done, and grub down, take my ass to bed. I go to bed early. I used to go to bed super early. I didn't care. Come home, do my homework, get yelled at for not knowing how to multiply. Y'all know how our parents was, bro. You be like, if Jimmy had 5 apples and Jimmy had 5 apples and he gave Emily 3, how many apples would he have? 14? They fuck you up, bro. Cause you want to know something about that though, and I got to say this about that. They fucked us up, cause at school, the schoolwork it'll be the simplified version. It'll be 2 + 2. You would know that that's 4. But when you get the homework, they give it to you in word form. Like, why would you give it to me in word form if you're not teaching me it in word form at school? You teaching me in the simplified form at school, and then when you give me the homework, you send me home with the paragraphs and shit. Talk about if Jimmy had 4 apples and he gave Emily 2, how many apples would he have? I'm not gonna know because you didn't tell me it that way. You told me 4. You said 2 plus sign 2, and he put a big ass line under it and said, what is that? 4. Come on, man. They used to fuck y'all, bro. Nah, bro. The educational system was failing us then, bro. No, I ain't going for that shit. The educational system was failing us back then, bro. I stand on that hill, bro. I stand on that motherfucking hill, bro. Cause that's how they used to get us, bro. That's why I figured that shit out when I got to the 3rd grade, bro. I was like, why y'all don't teach us this? Why y'all teach us this shit this way? But then you give us the paper. But then when y'all give us the homework, you put it in word form. Why y'all just can't do it like this? We would understand it better if you just, if you want us to understand the homework better, then put the homework way on the board, so that way we understand it. So that way, when we get the simplified version of it, it's still easy. Don't give it to us in word form when we get home, so we can get slapped the fuck out by our parents and shit. Like, how the fuck are we supposed to know that? You fucking us up. You giving us a simplified version, then you give us a word version of it, a paragraph version of it. Like, nigga, what the fuck does a paragraph? What the fuck does this paragraph got to do with math? Leaving kids confused, getting smacked up by their parents at home and shit. You know how many times I got fucked up by a spatula? My mama stabbed the fuck out of me with a fork. I know I shouldn't be telling y'all that shit. Y'all gonna be called, like, you should have called CPS. Your mama was abusive. I know. My mama was abusive because I didn't know what 6 + 6 was. That's crazy. What's 6 + 6? If Johnny has 6 apples and he picked out 6 more from the tree, how many does he have in his basket? 25? Got my ass whooped. Cause the schools want to fuck us over, bruh.
Uncle moved to center kids as the hosts, allowing young viewers to see their peers on screen and participate with them in arts and crafts projects and fun games. The first version of Zoom aired in the 1970s and was rebooted by PBS in 1999. The update welcomed a new generation with a poppier theme song and a more diverse cast. The revival was initially successful, although it ceased production after 7 seasons. According to Zoom executive director Kate Taylor, this was a result of steadily declining viewership in response to an increase in new programming. While a majority of the series has since been uploaded to YouTube, certain portions of Season 1 were never archived and are now considered lost media. The older you get, the harder it is to find time to clown around. Maybe that's why PBS is the big...
If you know, you know. If you know, you know.
You's a freaky ass nigga.
If you know, you know. So it's that type of version of this show out there. They did like they did an X-rated version of the show. Yeah.
You freaky ass boy. You freaky ass little dude. Yo, freaky ass on my Uncle grave. Bitch, you blacking out on my Uncle grave. Bitch, you blacking out. You freaky ass little boy. Stop playing with me, shorty. My dead grandma.
Big Comfy Couch has remained a nostalgic favorite since its premiere in 1992. Featuring literally larger-than-life sets and a hodgepodge of quirky characters, led by Lunette and her clown Molly, the series maintained an imaginative but comforting lightness that made it incredibly approachable for young children. The Big Comfy Couch's initial run lasted until 1996, after which Radical Sheep Productions lost funding. Then, in 2002, Tadpool Kids revived the series, and the original creative team returned to produce 2 more seasons in the hopes of reaching the coveted 100-episode benchmark for wider syndication. In the final season, the part of Lunette was recast, with Ramona Gilmore Darling taking over for Allison Court, who had just become a mom. Today, the show is available to stream on multiple platforms, including Amazon Prime and YouTube. Barney and Friends premiered on PBS in 1992 and quickly became
the greatest PBS show of all time. The greatest PBS show of all time. Fuck Sesame Street, nigga. Fuck Sesame Street, nigga. Barney is the GOAT, nigga. Barney is the GOAT, nigga. If Barney and Friends came to Sesame Street, they had that whole block turned out, nigga. Who gonna stop him? Who? Elmo? Elmo a bitch. Elmo get his ass beat by Baby Bop, nigga. Stop playing with me. What Big Bird gonna do, huh? Barney a beat Big Bird ass, nigga. Fuck Sesame Street, nigga. Niggas bitches over there. Pussy ass, bitch ass niggas over there on Sesame Street, nigga. Ain't no real niggas over there. Hey, but I saw a meme somewhere that said Sukiyata looked like Baby Bop, and now I can't unsee it, bro. Yo, whoever said Sukiyata looked like Baby Bop, I cannot unsee it, bro. I cannot unsee it, bro. That shit is hilarious. Whoever says Sukiyata look like Baby Bop, bro, you a fucking fool for that one.
Whose man is this?
I saw that shit on Twitter one day. They put a picture of her next to Baby Bop. I said, damn, I can't even unsee that now.
Became one of the channel's most popular shows, as the iconic purple dinosaur shined his light of positivity on a generation of children. The show was so huge that it even inspired several hate groups who couldn't stand the main character's relentless giddiness.
Are you feeling happy today? Oh, that's great!
But Barney's divisiveness never directly impacted his series' longevity. Indeed, it would go on to become one of PBS's longest-running shows, concluding production in 2010 after its 14th season. It continued to air on the channel until 2016, when the station opted not to renew the broadcast rights. But Barney returned for reruns in 2018. Its cultural ubiquity had been in decline after being overshadowed by other fresher children's programs. In 2011, Barney creator Hit Entertainment was bought out by toy company Mattel, who announced that it would be relaunching the brand. In 2023, Mattel revealed a new CGI version of the character for an animated reboot called Barney's World that premiered on Max in 2024. There are also plans for a film adaptation produced by Daniel Kaluuya. The Puzzle Place was designed from the ground up to feature an ethnically and culturally diverse ensemble. It followed a group of puppet children who learned lessons about recognizing.
I used to get this show confused with Cousin Skeeter a lot, bro. I remember this show. I used to get this confused with Cousin Skeeter a lot. I mean, because Cousin Skeeter on PBS too. It's like, no, it's not. Yes, it is. It's on PBS too. No, it's not. You thinking of Puzzle Place? Yeah, that's Cousin Skeeter. No, it's not. Yes, it is. How you gonna tell me? I beat your ass. I used to get into fights about that shit. I used to swear this was Cousin Skeeter on PBS, bro. I used to swear Cousin Skeeter was on PBS, bro. I used to get in so many fights over that shit at recess.
Their differences and fostering an environment of happy coexistence. The show began in 1995 on PBS and quickly became one of the station's most critically revered shows. 3 seasons would be produced in total, but by the second, it struggled to find sponsors amidst poor merchandise sales. By the 3rd season, many of the puppeteers had already moved on to other projects. It ceased production in 1998, with reruns airing until 2000. A collection of Puzzle Place VHS tapes had been released, but the show has never been available in its entirety on DVD or streaming. While some devoted fans have uploaded their own recordings to YouTube, over half the series is considered lost media.
Hey, Zabu!
If there's one thing that's guaranteed to mesmerize children,
Top 5. Sabumafu is top 5.
around the world, it's funny-looking animals. Co-starring zoologist brothers Chris and Martin Kratt alongside the titular lemur, Zaboomafoo brought viewers up close and personal with the many furry friends who grace the presence of Animal Junction. Zaboomafoo premiered in 1999 and was an instant success for PBS, although it only lasted for 2 seasons and 65 episodes. When a show reaches a certain number of episodes, PBS will often simply send them to syndication through reruns, rather than keep producing more. This was the case for Zaboomafoo, which lasted on sister channel Sprout until 2011. The Kratt brothers would continue producing other nature shows, including Be the Creature, a series aimed at teens and adults, and Wild Kratts, a fully animated program with more fictionalized elements. Unfortunately, in 2014, the lemur who played Zaboomafoo, Jovian, passed away from kidney failure in his home at the Duke Lemur Center. Today, the entire series can be streamed online courtesy of Prime Video and PBS Kids. If you want to teach children about classic literature, just hire.
Wishbone was my shit too. Is it top 5? I can't put it in the top 5, but this was my shit too. I can't even hold you, bro. Wishbone was my shit too.
a talking dog. That was the idea behind Wishbone, starring Soccer the dog as the titular Jack Russell Terrier, with Larry Brantley providing the voice. Wishbone guided viewers through recreations of beloved books, from Shakespeare to Dickens and beyond. Each episode sported incredible sets, costumes, and makeup to properly immerse viewers in the story. Wishbone premiered in 1995, spawning 2 seasons and a TV movie called Wishbone's Dog Days of the West. It was embraced by educators and awarded for its immense craftsmanship, although only 50 episodes would ever be produced. Ultimately, it was too expensive to make and had little merchandising potential. After production ceased, reruns continued until 2013. Wishbone is now
Yeah, because you gotta train a dog to put on these costumes and walk around and interact with humans. So yeah, that training and all that stuff with the dog, that shit gonna take up a good chunk of the budget because of the trainers and keeping the dog tame while you recording and shit. That's gonna take a lot of money.
owned by Mattel, who intend to adapt it for the big screen. The original creative team has attempted to sell a reboot of the series, although none of their efforts have been successful. Currently, fans can watch the entire original series online for free, courtesy of creator Rick Duffield. In hindsight, most episodes of Teletubbies feel like nothing more than random images and sounds cobbled together. However, the adventures of Tinky Winky, Dipsy, Lala, and Po.
This shit used to... It didn't scare me, it just irritated me. Like, what the fuck were these things, dog? When I first saw Teletubbies for the first time, I think Teletubbies came out like, what, 99? So I was like 5? Yeah, I was like 5 years old around that time. I was looking like, bro, what the fuck is this? Like, it didn't scare me, it just irritated me. It was just like... This show used to throw me off, bro.
Managed to be educational enough to air for multiple seasons. A Sun Baby is still the stuff of nightmares, though. Imported from the BBC, Teletubbies premiered on PBS in 1998 and continued airing until 2008, 7 years after it ended production. The BBC wanted series creators Anne Wood and Andrew Davenport to continue producing episodes, though. But as Lala actress Nikki Smeedley wrote in her autobiography, Over the Hills and Far Away, they were adamant in their refusal. It was time for us all to move on and put our energies into new projects. In 2002, a spin-off called Teletubbies Everywhere premiered. Then, when the company WildBrain acquired Teletubbies production company Ragdoll Worldwide, it sold the show's broadcast and on-demand rights to Nickelodeon, who brought the entire series to Nick Jr. and the Noggin streaming app. They also produced a revival of the original series that ran for 4 seasons from 2015 to 2018. Netflix would later acquire and redub the revival series and begin airing it in 2022. Every day was a new adventure with Caillou, the 4-year-old with endless curiosity.
This little bitch right here, this little punk ass motherfucker right here. Theme song was fire though. I never say that. The only good thing I can say about this show is the theme song was fire. This nigga's a little bitch. Caillou's a little bitch. That's what he was. But that theme song was fire though. I'm just a kid who's 4. Each day I grow some more. I like exploring a Caillou.
And a tendency to throw tantrums. Each episode saw the titular youngster learning new things about the world alongside his mother, father, and younger sister Rosie. Whether it was how to treat others, how to sail a boat, or how to plant a tree, no day was an ordinary one. Caillou originally aired in Canada during the late 90s before coming stateside to PBS Kids in 2000. There were 5 seasons produced between 1997 and 2011, after which it aired in syndication until 2021, when PBS opted not to renew the broadcasting rights. However, the series was soon picked up by Warner Bros. Discovery as part of its Cartoonito children's block, which ran reruns until 2022. There was also a revival series called Caillou's New Adventures that ran from 2016 to 2023. In 2012, Caillou creator Cookie Jar Entertainment was acquired by WildBrain. Following the show's run on Cartoonito, WildBrain partnered with NBC Universal to reboot the series with 3D animation. 5 specials aired on Peacock in 2022, and a new season began in 2024. Fans can also watch full episodes of the original on YouTube. The Jim Henson Company was responsible for plenty of other wonderful television besides The Muppet Show and Sesame Street, including Bear and the Big Blue House. Hosted by Noel McNeil as the titular
I wasn't very fond of this show. I'm not even gonna hold you. I was not very fond of Bear the Big Blue House. I wasn't fond of it. The only reason why I would probably sit through the shit is because it came on, because Roly Poly Oly was probably gonna come on after that. Roly Poly Oly is a go to Disney show, by the way. I would literally just watch this just to see Roly Poly Oly, bro. He's Roly Poly Oly, he's small and square round. Man, that was my shit, bro. Got me reminiscing on my childhood and shit, man. God damn, dog.
Bum, 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 bum.
Bear. The series followed a rambunctious group of animals living and learning together in the Woodland Valley. Each episode featured musical numbers, including the Goodbye song sung by Bear and Luna that closed each episode. The series premiered on Disney Channel in 1997 before becoming a staple of Playhouse Disney, the channel's preschool programming block 2 years later. Production was halted in 2003 following the sudden passing of Lynn Thigpen, who voiced Luna. During this hiatus, Disney experimented with Breakfast with Bear, an hour-long spin-off made up of other shows stitched together with segments of Bear visiting real children's homes. Ultimately, both shows would end in 2006. As Disney had more than enough material for syndication, reruns continued until...
No, it reached the 65 episode mark. That's what it is. And for those that don't know, Disney has this thing. They don't want their shows to be nationally syndicated. So what they do is they let a show go up to like 65 episodes, and then they stop it right then and there. It's over. So 65 episodes can be like, I want to say 3 to 4 seasons, depending on how many episodes you want to put into one season. What they'll do though, if it's a good series, what they'll do is they'll stop that series and then start a new series, i.e. fucking Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, where it was the Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. Then they did the one when they was on the cruise ship. So when they got something good and they don't want to get rid of it, what they'll do is they'll just end it and then they'll make a spin-off, which is basically the same show, but it's just like in a new setting now. That's what they would do with a lot of shows. So Bear in the Big Blue House hit that 65 episode mark and they said no more episodes. That's how Disney is. Disney is very selfish when it comes to they shows. They don't want them to get into the hands of other networks, because they'd be damned if they see Mickey Mouse on a goddamn Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon as a fucking rerun show. They'd be fucking pissed about that shit.
2007. Following outcry from longtime fans, Disney added the entire series to Disney Plus in 2022. However, several episodes of Breakfast with Bear remain lost. Though McNeil has expressed interest in returning for a reboot, no plans have been announced.
And remember, home is wherever you feel best.
Inspired by the Railway series of books, Thomas and Friends follow...
Nigga, when we talk about the greatest cartoon of all time, the greatest kid show of all time, it's this one right here, my nigga. The greatest one of all time. It's my number one, my numero uno. Nothing comes above Thomas the Tank Engine, bro. Nothing. This is the greatest kid show of all time. This is my number one kid show of all time. It's a personal one for me. It only goes up until they went to PBS with the dude that was the British dude that took over. The British dude that took over when they went to PBS. That's when I stopped watching Thomas the Tank Engine altogether. But from the first iteration with George Carlton or Ringo Starr, whichever version you watch back in the day, all the way up to the Alec Baldwin narrated season. Yeah. Thomas the Tank Engine fucking goated, bro. Most goated kid show all time. It's not up for debate. This is the greatest kid show all time. I don't care what y'all say. Some of y'all may say Power Rangers, some of y'all may say Pokemon, some of y'all may say SpongeBob, some of y'all may say Looney Tunes. None of them fucking with this show right here. The theme song, the show itself, the characters, the character development, just being immersed with magical trains that can talk. The greatest kid show to ever fucking exist, point blank period. I don't care, fight me in the comments, I don't care. The greatest fucking kid show of all time, Thomas the motherfucking Tank Engine. One time for the GOAT. One time for the GOAT, man. One time for the GOAT. One time for the motherfucking GOAT.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why he's the MVP. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
Followed a group of hardworking freight trains as they hauled materials across the island of Sodor's lush railways. There were plenty of lessons to learn on the job, including how to get along with others and how to manage responsibility. With over 580 episodes airing between 1984 and 2021, it was one of the longest-running children's shows of all time. Imported from the United Kingdom's ITV, PBS first aired the series as part of Shining Time Station in 1989. Beginning in 2004, PBS Kids...
Yep, it was Shining Time Station, and it was on Nick Jr. too. It was on two different channels. It was on Nick Jr. and it was on PBS. That shit used to fuck me up though, cause I be watching on PBS and then I turn to Nick Jr. It's on Nick Jr. too. I was like, oh shit, they got Thomas the Tank Engine everywhere. This used to be my shit, bro. Like every trip to Blockbuster, I want to say all the way up to I was like, I want to say 9 years old, all the way up to I was 9 years old. Every trip we took to Blockbuster, I had to get a Thomas the Tank Engine tape, bro. I had to get a Thomas the Tank Engine tape, bro. I had to, bro. I had to get a Thomas the Tank Engine tape, bro. I had to, bro. It was one thing about this show, bro. I had to watch the new episodes, bro, because my mama couldn't give me every single new tape that dropped every week, because bro, this shit used to drop like No Limit Records albums back in the 90s, bro. Like it used to be a new tape every week with a whole bunch of episodes on it, bro. And the only way I could get the new Thomas the Tank Engine was when I go to Blockbuster, bro. This is the only way, dog. Goated, man. Did around the time I hit like 9 years old, that's when I stopped watching Thomas the Tank Engine for some odd reason. For some odd reason, I stopped watching it. I think it was because they didn't have no more new episodes, but that was because behind the scenes they were they had a deal going on with PBS and it was finna air episodes for PBS, so that's why we didn't get no more Thomas the Tank Engine episodes for a little bit. So I just stopped watching it for a while, and I kept looking though. I was like, nope, it's still the same stuff. It's like they ain't getting no new ones. It's like y'all ain't got no new Thomas Tank Engine. It's like ain't none coming in. Like, what's going on with Thomas Tank Engine?
Kids aired the show on its own and kept it chugging along until 2017, when the broadcasting rights expired. Nick Jr. picked up the slack in 2018, followed by Netflix in 2020. Mattel acquired Thomas' parent company Hit Entertainment in 2011.
I wasn't mad when they went to CGI though. I wasn't mad when they went to CGI. I'm mad at where it is right now. If you see Thomas the Tank Engine now, you'll understand why I'm mad and why I can't. They destroyed the legacy of the show, bro. Like right here, this is where you stop at. You don't go no further than the CGI. Where they at right now? Ruined the GOAT, man. Ruined the fucking GOAT right here, dog.
You're done. You're washed. It's over.
Cut that bitch off. Next caller. I gotta admit it. I did not see this coming. In a million years, I did not see this coming.
Yeah, man. I can't. What am I gonna say?
Bum, 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 bum.
And eventually chose to quietly end the series in 2021 and relaunched it as Thomas and Friends All.
This bullshit right here, man. This is what it is now. Look at what they did to Thomas the Tank Kitchen, dog. We went from toy models with different faces on them to CGI. Now we in 2D animation, bro. They have ruined this fucking series, bro. They have ruined the legacy of this series, bro. I can't even. My childhood is ruined, bro. Look at this bullshit.
Engines Go, which is currently airing on Cartoon Network and streaming on Netflix.
All this bullshit, man. Fuck. Whoever is making the decisions for Thomas the Tank Engine, I hope you step on Legos for the rest of your life. I hope you step on Legos for the rest of your life, and then you slip and fall into like some sharp ass glass and they slit your throat. Cause you ruined my childhood. Fuck you. Anyways, though, let's just go about doing it for this one. Yeah, man. A good chunk of these is, some of them still running, some of them the company that they was under got bought out and they got sent to a newer company, and that newer company was like, we want to take this show in a new direction, i.e. Thomas the Tank Engine. And for some of them, it was like, we don't see nothing. We don't see no purpose for this shit. It's not really gonna sell. Who the fuck still watches this show? Who the fuck still watches that show? Notice they didn't bring up Sesame Street though. But then again, Sesame Street is it's a show from the 70s, but still, you get what I'm trying to say though. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm trying to say. Sesame Street has some spinoffs. Even though they came in the 2000s, but you get my drift. But anyway, so that's just gonna about do it for this. So I'll see y'all in the next video. They ruined Thomas the Tank Engine. I'm kind of depressed right now.